I know, it's been a minute. Honestly, I had been going through a pretty rough time the past 2 weeks. And I know that a lot of you can relate to this because I've never had so much support of people saying, like, it's okay to be burnt out in a wonderful opportunity. You know, like I'm in a pottery residency currently, 6 months residency, learning about production pottery, being full on like thrown to the sharks in production pottery. I've learned so much, keeping up with the shop and commissions, and at the same time trying to grow and like learn how I can be a better creator. And when I was doing all that, I lost vision of, I lost the grasp of like why I started doing all of these things to begin with, like for the love of the game, you know, for the love of making videos, for the love of sharing what I'm learning, for the love of pottery. Well, I never lost that really, but like it did make me very stressed out. I will sell online, Mark. I will. And it's so cool to have the support of that, like of you even asking and caring. I think I'm going to go with Etsy as the platform because of like I've done it before, it's easy. However, obviously it will have to be after my residency is through because the gallery takes first and foremost priority. I have to take all of my work and put it in there. And it's a blessing, it's such a big blessing to be so stressed about keeping up with that. Because I'm telling you, man, it is crazy. Like I've tried every trick in the book of how to, maybe not every trick, maybe I just don't know it, but to go work faster, make more, make enough. Like the kiln is only so big and I only have 2 hands and so many hours in the day. You know, like I'm still a human being who needs to like sleep and eat and work out and like see the sunset sometimes, you know, stuff like that. But anyways, that's partially why I was going through a tough time and partially why I was like, maybe you didn't even know. And part of me, when I was going through this hard time, I was thinking, everyone hates me. Everyone knows that I can't handle it. Like, you know, you think no one is going through a tough time and no one gets it. And it's crazy what our brain can do to us sometimes. So, anyways, for those of you that are here live, hi, welcome to the Pottery Studio. We're at a weird angle right now. You're on my phone. I thought today what we'll do is I'm gonna do the production that I need to do. I actually need to make a good amount of planters, like with the dish attached to it, and we need to make some vases and mugs. And even, you know, when I'm throwing, you guys could tell me what you want to hear, what you want to see, not what you want to hear. I'm probably going to be blabbing. I'm going to be talking. I can't answer all of your questions. Sometimes, like, I'll be throwing and I won't be able to look up and see any live questions that happen, but I will do my best. So, step number 1 is the apron. And I'm sorry if the screen is, like, kind of cloudy. You could say it's the light. You could also say that I dropped my phone in a bucket of glaze. Both of those statements would be correct, unfortunately. So yeah, but you know, we're gonna throw. Like I said, I need to make some planters. When I'm throwing, if I ask like, oh, if I'm stuck, and if I ask for a shape or an idea, maybe you can let me know. I did already wedge up some clay, but I think that we need a few more. I don't really want to use all of this clay because it's the only brown stoneware I have left. And the brown stoneware does the best for my cherry collection and all my other like fruit collection. So I'm not gonna use all of this. But this live is, you know, for other people that want to watch it later, I'll upload it, and sometimes I'm not gonna talk. Sometimes I'm just gonna be throwing and maybe, you know, just focus on what I'm doing, and hopefully that'll be fun. If you guys want to come and go, happy to have you. Happy to have you move on with what you need to do today. I know it's a Wednesday afternoon, crazy time to go live, but and sometimes I'm gonna have a lot to say, like right now. So yeah. Any questions? I absolutely love the kiln opening videos that I've been doing, but at the same time, I was also doing them so often because it felt like it was the only thing that I could film that was cohesive with my life, because anything else felt like just full to the brim. And I was talking with my friend about this, and if you are constantly like absolutely completely filled to the brim, like you are spread so thin with the time in your life, when do you ever have time to like reflect or question? You know? Yeah, legend can seriously be an exercise, especially reclaim. Dude, I have broken a sweat many times. So I don't know, sometimes you can't really be filled to the brim and spread super thin all the time and then expect to be able to experiment and like figure out new ways to do things and new types of glaze combinations and new shapes and fail, and even just have some time to like journal or read, or you know, it's like I feel like you can't always be full to the brim, which is crazy. As like an entrepreneur or as a business owner, like everything is on you all the time, and you could be working all the time, and sometimes resting does not feel productive enough. So anyways, these are quite small. These will be mugs. Do you want to guess how much one of these is? It'll be like a pound maybe. You want to see? Alright, this is, no, it'll be under a pound. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's exactly on 1 pound. I'm not lying, I know you can't see the number, but I'm not lying, it was 1 pound exactly. And that is so satisfying. As a potter, if you can guess immediately when you hold something how much it is, that's great. Alright. We got some clay wedge right there. We got our wheel. This is the best potter stool ever, and somebody sent it to me and I love it so much. And I can't believe they sent it to me recently, because I'm sure that they didn't know that my birthday is this Friday. Can you believe it? Another year goes by. So weird. Aging is so weird. Time is so weird. Anyways, how do you feel about being right here? How do you feel about that? Okay. This is a clay knife. Or no, this is a, what's this called again? Paint scraper? A drywall knife, I think is what this is called. And I learned that drywall knives are not called a knife for no reason. They're actually very sharp. And I cut myself so many times, way more times than I would like to admit, actually. So I like, it's very efficient. Where's my comments? I can't see. Sorry. What the heck? Couldn't see who said that. Pops up for like 2 seconds. I like square bats so much, but you can't throw everything on them, obviously. Like large plates and dishes and things like that. Also, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? Are you at work? What are you doing on a Wednesday on YouTube? Having a good time, I hope. Okay. You ready? lunch. That's great, Mark. How are your mushrooms? No, not mushrooms. You were experimenting with mushroom texture, I believe. No, you have some new creations that you're putting in a gallery? You're killing it. You're killing it. With what you're working on, new ideas, the creativity, it's fantastic. Genuinely, I love seeing what other people create. Okay. Day off. Finished Halloween pottery. Oh my goodness. I have not made a pumpkin this year yet. Can you believe it? A yapping time with Marlena. Dude, Vincent, miss you. I hope, how are your circle vases, by the way? I know you raccooned one of them. That was very exciting. And the second one, such a success. And it's just so cool to see that. Yapping time is always, sometimes it's abundant, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know what, I have nothing to say, so, I don't know. Alright, so this is going to be a planter. And part of me feels like you can't see what I'm doing. My phone, if you were wondering how it's like standing up, circle vases was good, literally made another one today. Yes! Dude, for your favorite drag queen, that's amazing! On like, is it themed after them, or like, are you sending it to them? Like, how does that work? Confused. We don't have to have an entire conversation, but, okay. So, I really do want to make some Halloween pottery. Like, I'm thinking about like making like cauldron mugs, or I really want to make ghosts. I throw pottery at them and run away. There's meat and grease. No, it's wrong to throw pottery at people and walk away. Well, maybe you could like hand it to them nicely, but like try to avoid the face, like throwing it at their face, or really like throwing at them in general. Tends to hurt. I really want to make ghosts, and I want to make pumpkins, of course. It's a classic, but you know, actually, there's a few shelves that I share with the one of the people who owns the building that I'm in, and she makes ghosts and pumpkins, and in the contract that I signed, I'm not allowed to make them. I promise you're not actually throwing it at them, but as a lover of all things spooky, yeah, it'd be cool to do some spooky Halloween. I know, some people are obsessed with Halloween. I don't know why y'all go so all out. I swear, I'm like, the scariest movie that I can watch is like Hocus Pocus. Like, I don't know, I'm not a scary movie person at all. I can't do it. Buckets of fun. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You agree. I'm so glad, Vincent. Alright, we gotta get this plate. And the thing with these larger ones, the larger planter pots, the reason I'm making planter pots is because I have several people waiting on them. So like, I genuinely, if any of you have had a commission before, like I know it's a good thing, but how do you avoid getting like immediately stressed out? You know, like there's a part of me that really just, well, I do need to start saying no. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the kiln unloads. I'm so glad you like them. It really was like the only thing that I felt like I could film at those during those weeks, because I was just like so busy with running the shop here and making the pottery, and it felt like the only free time I had was when I was unloading the kiln. So I'm glad you like them. I'm not doing as many experiments recently, and so that's why I'm also kind of feeling like the kiln, it would be boring. Can Commission works makes pottery a job. Yeah, for real. Don't stress, just breathe one step at a time and leave yourself plenty of time. I mean, I try to leave myself time. Yeah, I think just like I think it's focusing, like if you do have to accept a commission, because this is my full-time job, so, and I do like making people happy, it's, I have to be honest. I think the biggest thing that has helped me is like, I need to be as communicative as possible and tell them I am really short on time right now. This will take 3 weeks or 4 weeks. You have to be flexible. Pottery and all art is filled with variables, and it might, I need to have some creative freedom. Like, you have to be honest, and learn to say no sometimes. Yes, and learn to say no sometimes. Yes, I know. I do struggle with that. I'm aware of that weakness. I want all people to be happy, and sometimes I can over-promise myself, overspread myself. Somebody told me, like, if you go to a car dealership, like, this is an expensive car, and they want to design their car, and they just want it custom, like they want to custom design their car. They don't want to be told, yeah, it'll be done in a month, and then it takes a year. They'll be like, we expected quality communication, a quality product, and they're going to be waiting. They just need to know about it. And I think that is like, you want to be the best experience, offering the best product, because you are an artist, and this is handmade art. It's extremely valuable. So don't think it makes it better to say like, yeah, it'll be done like next week, and you're making it so much harder on yourself, and then when it takes longer, it's just disappointing for them. So learn that. But also, I have had to start saying no recently. Like, I just haven't had time. It's way better to tell them much longer than you think, and then deliver early. Exactly. And then they're surprised, and then they're like, oh yeah, I thought it was gonna take longer. I've made that mistake just because, like, I don't know. I guess I just needed to learn. Can I have my tool? Thank you. I have had to start saying no, because I actually am going to be leaving this residency, like this studio, the gallery, everything, the kiln shed, like everything. I'm not going to be here. This is a 3-season house. It's a 6-month residency, so I'll be headed out, and I need to stop taking commissions because I'm going to lose my studio, right? But this girl who works at the coffee shop across the street, I love her, and she loves pottery, and she like came in and she was like, can you make a goat planter? And I was like, and I literally promised everyone, like, I wasn't going to take any more commissions. And then I was like, anything for you. And I think it's so funny because it's like, I've never made a goat planter. Like, that might be something that takes a little bit of experiment or time to figure out. So, you know me, can't say no. BCW, would you mind sharing where you get your lotion pumps with the glue on the threads? I'm looking for some nicer ones in the okay. I had to read that fast because it like disappears, and I can't be clicking on my phone right now. Yes, so the lotion pumps that I get and the threads, I get from this website called onedreamdesign.com, and he is a potter himself. His website sucks. It's so bad, but he has the highest quality pumps that I've ever been able to find, and I don't want to stick a plastic pump on a beautiful ceramic jar, and he offers like they're metal and they're good. So I would go to onedreamdesign.com. I do not like his olive oil dispensers. I don't like them at all. And I got my olive oil dispensers from this website called Fair, like literally like Faire, It's a wholesale website for like stores and stuff, and they have good ones that I like better, and I got like 100 of them. But yeah, I haven't been able to find like really any other soap pump or olive oil thread from any other wholesale place. And that, finding the hardware for something like that is the hardest thing, especially lamps. Like, I love lamps, and I hate that it's hard to find the right kind of hardware for a lamp. Like, making a lamp is easy. All you need to do is make a base with a hole in it, basically. And I can't find the right hardware. It's also hard to find a good shade. And it's like, I don't know how to make, I don't know. It's my next challenge for sure. It's like, I really want to make a lamp so bad. And if any of you know where I should get a lamp, like the hardware for a lamp, everybody says Home Depot. And they have like one hardware, and it's the one with the harp, and it's like all funky. I don't know. Lowe's? Does anywhere else have them? Okay. Literally turned my head to the right, and she's already done with the water. Hey, what are you looking away for? Okay, so should we put like a ruffle? I think it should have a ruffle. Should it have a ruffle? Or should it be normal? I don't know. Ooh, you know, well, I am gonna put like, I'm gonna put probably cherries on these. So I don't want to do too many like complicated textures. I think I just want it to be smooth so I can paint designs later. Begin with the end in mind. I love that concept. So effective with pottery too, because it's like how you finish a piece is so important, and if you don't throw it with knowing how it's gonna end, then it's not gonna be good. Well, it might be good. It will be good, but it won't be intentional. Okay. Can I have? Aw, that's so sweet. It's a pear. Aw, that's really sweet. You don't have to do that. That's very kind of you. I just brought home a very used wheel for $150. It's a Shimpo, pressed loud as hell. Probably 100 years old. I like my brand new. That's okay. You like your brand new Beaver wheel better, and it's less expensive. That's crazy. So that's what someone commented. If you're watching this not live later and I read it really fast, it's because the comment like disappears and I can't be touching my phone right now. Okay, that's interesting. What is this? This is a VL light. This actually, I didn't have to bring my wheel to this residency. My wheel at my home studio is a Shimpo Whisper, and it was like $700-800. It's very quiet. It's extremely powerful. It's my favorite wheel. And yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for in a wheel, because some wheels have great resale value and others don't. So, you know, you're looking at the later money investment that you're putting in there. But when it comes to just being creative and working, just whatever gets you working quicker and faster and easier, because you're wanting to create like the least amount of roadblocks when you are trying to work and create, because sometimes starting can be very difficult. So whatever works for you. Pottery live stream, let's go. That's insane, dude. I've been so busy where I'm like, oh, I should, like, live streams are the thing to do. It's what I need to be hopping on. And then every time I have a waking moment, I'm like rushing. There's, you know, my like studio is in a parking lot, so at least the back of it. So when I'm closed, it's very, like, I live here, and sometimes people will poke their heads through the window and like be looking and peeking. Sometimes they'll bang on the door and they'll be like, why are you open? And it does make me feel really bad, but if I don't have time to work, then there's gonna be nothing in the gallery. So I gotta say no sometimes, like you said. Okay, so this is the pot with the dish attached. There's the hole. I think I'm gonna leave this one plain. Like I said, I need some planter pots. There's some over there already. And then I'll make some other stuff. What should I make the next piece? Like, should I make another planter pot or should I make a mug or a vase or, like, obviously I'm not fully finishing it or trimming or adding texture at the moment. Thank you for all this inspiration you give me. I wonder what kind of underglaze do you use on your pots so it doesn't stick to the counter? No, it doesn't stick. I use a lot of different underglazes. I mean, Spectrum is a good one. Fundamentals is a good one. I haven't used a bad underglaze yet, honestly. No underglaze does not stick to a kiln shelf, and the reason for that is because underglaze is technically a pigmented slip, so it's pigmented clay. The only thing that might happen is it would flake off if you put it too thick, but sometimes it doesn't flake off as much if you put underglaze on greenware and then bisque fire it. But I usually put my underglaze on bisque fired clay while I'm glazing it, and then I'll put wax over that. Why do you put it on the bottom? You can put underglaze on the bottom of your pots. I sign my name on the bottom of my pots with underglaze actually because I prefer it. Just be careful because one of my students, Vincent, he's here right now, he got what he thought was underglaze, but it was actually overglaze. Overglaze is not underglaze, and it's unfortunate because it can definitely be mistaken for that, like super easily. Overglaze is usually some type of a, like a gold or like a watercolory type thing, or something that you put as a last step or on a rim, or something that you can put over like already fired glaze. As a proud owner of a Marlena Magic, the signature, you like my signature, so Vincent likes my signature. Thank you. Some people like to use a stamp, a custom stamp. Some people make their own stamps. Some people like to sign like when it's super dry so it doesn't create those clay bookers. Everybody has their different thing, and I think whatever feels authentic to you is the best and perfect way to finish your pot, because your pot is absolutely, like, it has your fingerprints all over it. It's 100% from you, from your hands, so what better way to finish the bottom than in the most you way possible, in my opinion. Okay, so this one's a little bit less clay. Yeah, so he got the overglazes. Amazon didn't specify what they were for, and yeah, it ruined like the bottom of his pot because it stuck to the shelf because it obviously was a glaze and not a colored slip like underglaze should be, and yeah, that does suck. I found a really good gold recently, and it's really hard to find a good gold. I'll have to like post a picture of it. I can't remember what it is right now, but I actually did get it on Amazon, which is a crazy place to find a good gold. What glazes do you like for darker brown clay? It's like funny. It's so funny to me when I'm trying to read as fast as possible. I have been experimenting with the dark brown clay, and not all glazes work on it. So is it Passler's Gold? No, I don't think so. But is Passler's Gold good? Because I'll try that out. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I've been experimenting. What I've been realizing about the dark clay is that I can pretty much, for the most part, use any glaze that I want on it as long as I put a lighter color first, like as a base. So Winterwood, Alabaster are like my two go-tos for a light clay, because yeah, I mean, Lavender Mist turns really dark. Any glaze that you put on extremely dark clay will almost turn just black. unless you use a white base or a light base first, or a cream base, or something that mixes well with your other glazes. You just have to experiment, obviously. You could just do test tiles. I know test tiles take a long time, but I have done them a lot. So some people know each other in the chat. How fun is that? Aw, you guys are friends. It's like a little hangout. So cool. Obviously, you guys are in the pottery community. And so you might see each other on pottery community events. That's sick. Ooh, let me tell you. I am in a yappy mood today. So when I create my studio, when I get my studio, which actually, guess what? I'm looking for a building right now to rent, not buy. I don't have that much money. But I have enough to rent, which is great. Every penny of it earned from selling pots, and I'm super proud of that. But anyway, so I'm looking for a building, and I'm working on my business model. I really think that I want to have enough time on my hands to be able to remain a potter myself. Like, I don't want to be teaching for my every waking hour. So I'll have like some workshops. Maybe I'll get some outside teachers as guests. I'll have memberships, hopefully, if I get a big enough space. Parties and classes, things like that. But enough time for me to also have space as an artist. And I'm going to have, this is very essential, this is a must in the space that I'm looking for. It must have some type of a room or space for a gallery, because that's where I'm going to sell my work and also students' work if they would like. Because I think selling your work and learning about entrepreneurial aspect of being an artist is really important if that's what you want to do, because that's not talked about a lot. Obviously, you don't have to sell your work. There's many people who just do pottery for the enjoyment of it, which, like, hell yeah. But a lot of people don't teach you how to price your work, so that's gonna be cool. But that actually wasn't my point. What I want to do, if you've ever seen the Great Pottery Throwdown, that's only in the UK. Only UK people can participate, and it's not there's no pottery competition in the United States, which is crazy. And I want to be able to get my studio to a point where I can host a pottery competition. And obviously, like, I'll start yeah, it's such a great show, and I'll start, you know, like local, maybe just town-wide, or I'll put it online and I'll see who can, like, come out, and we'll do maybe statewide, or I don't know, maybe we'll just put it out and just not have any parameters and just see who can make it. But yeah, I want to create it, and maybe it'll grow, and maybe, I mean, I love being on camera. Like, I have no problem with being on a stage. I like performing. I like public speaking. I like all of those things, and it would be really cool to create a show. Yeah, the U.S. Pottery Throwdown. I'm telling you, and please don't tell anybody else who has the money to start it now, because I don't have the money to start it now, but I will have the money, and I want to be the one to do it. So, y'all, I'm going to work on it. I mean, obviously the studio's first, but as soon as I have the studio, like, what's going to stop me from doing, like, local things? And I don't know what's involved in getting, like, a show, but I'll figure it out, you know? Nobody knows. This is, you're in the UK, and we would absolutely love to visit. In fact, I'm going to write a letter to them for you just to be a guest judge. Am I good enough to be a guest judge? There's my imposter syndrome, I guess. I mean, like, would I be good enough to participate? Well, actually, I did apply. Thank you. Somebody said that they like my camera presence. Best compliment ever. I did apply to the Great Pottery Throwdown, and I, of course, they were like, well, are you a UK citizen? And I was like, no. And they were like, get out of here. No, they were, I mean, nobody talked to me. It was online, but I'm sure they would have been very nice. They've been like, Oh, sorry, love, but you can't participate because you live in America. We don't like you. No. Unfortunately, I didn't get the pleasure. Okay, so this one's got a ruffle. This is got, I like the fact that like the ruffle will align with the bottom ruffle. And it's got the hole, of course, the drainage hole. Need one of those. So, yeah. My back hurts always. Have a great day. Bye, if you're leaving. Person with tea and biscuits. Please let me participate, please. I swear. I'll just pretend. Yes. I'll just pretend. I'll just get someone's address from the UK, and then I'll just be like, what's something that British people do? I don't know. Oh, we have a different accent for every town. And a different dialect. Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, oh dear. Oh dearie. No, Mrs. Doubtfire wasn't. She was like, dearie. Oh no. She was like Scottish, wasn't she? Wasn't she like kind of Scottish or Irish? Oh no. That's what she sounded like. So I'll just pretend, yeah. I'll just pretend, I'll just channel like Harry Potter. Okay, now Scottish is in my head. Hold on. Is that Scottish? Loving your accent. Thank you. Let's see. So, I mean, I've heard of a Cockney accent. I feel like a Cockney accent is a little bit aggressive. So question, what is your favorite glaze that breaks nicely over texture? I'm going to interrupt my Cockney accent impression for this question. Ooh. You know, I don't have a favorite that breaks. Sometimes you're doing a live stream. Thank you. Oh, that's my sister. Hi. It's my sister. Oh. Dude, you are so cringy. Oh my god, thank you. You might as well, if you're not cringy, hear what I am. Judgmental? Are you mental? Hi Gigi, how are you? So basically, to update anybody who's here, I am planning on infiltrating the Great Pottery Throwdown by not being a U.S. citizen, and I'm going to pretend to have a UK accent or British accent, and I was trying out Cockney. But I'm not sure which one would be the most realistic. I will say, wherever I go, I tend to like relate to the people that I'm around, and I tend to like accidentally mimic their accents by accident sometimes. So like, I mean, I was in Alabama for a while, and they have definitely a southern accent down there, and I love a southern accent. I mean, Texans will have like their vowels a little bit more drawn out, and I love when they talk a little slow and the vowels are drawn out. That's going to be different than Birmingham. Accent is hilarious. Birmingham? I don't know that one. I don't know that one. I'm going to have to study my accents if you're going to want me to do that. I'm also going to have to study Yorkshire. Doing live stream while you also work on pottery is such a good idea. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the encouragement. I was explaining that I've been super stressed out, and it's super hard to keep up with like online filming, like, you know, editing, getting all of the ideas completed on top of like actual production of pottery that needs to happen. So I was like, dude, live is the way to go for this week because it gets both of them done, and I get to get over my fear and my hump of like feeling stuck with what I'm doing, and with pottery and with YouTube. It's like sometimes you just have to get yourself to do it or make a step or take a step. And if it's a fear of going to the gym, literally just going there, you don't even have to work out, just going will help you. For me, like, I was feeling like I couldn't film, like I couldn't do anything. So this was like my version of just stepping into the arena and getting myself out of the slump that I was in. And hopefully it's fun. How many hours do you usually, oh no, how many hours do I usually what? Do pottery? I couldn't read the rest of the comment, I'm sorry. Can't touch it. How many hours do I do pottery? Well, the gallery shop is open from 10 to 5 every day. Sometimes it's so busy, like with customers, that I can't even step back into the studio. So I try to get up around 7. I'll get in the studio sometimes around 8, so it'd be nice if I got up earlier. So I'll usually work from like 7:30 to 10 before opening, and then if it's slow, I'll work in between customers and I'll throw some things or finish some things. But realistically, like when you have to stop what you're doing every 5 minutes, you don't get anything done at all. So then I'll try to work after close to get done what I need to get done. Right now I'm obviously closed. This is the studio. The gallery shop is actually right over there. I am doing a pottery residency right now. For a recap of those that don't know, so meaning I live and work here for 6 months. I run and keep the pottery gallery stocked, and so I'm really just being thrown in with production pottery for 6 months with a high amount of traffic. The gallery that I currently like work and manage and supply is in Door County, Wisconsin, so it's like a vacation spot for a lot of people. So the people who come here will spend, their vacation money, which is definitely different experience than doing an art fair in your hometown, which is what I did a lot before. So yeah, it increases the amount of production that you have to do, obviously, because I signed a contractual agreement to keep the gallery stocked, but not only the contract, but my pride and joy, I want people to have something that they like every time they come in. So, I mean, it's a full-time job, but I would say I've definitely worked probably like 12 hours a day. I don't know, probably 80 hours a week. And I don't film all of the kiln unloads I do because that would be so many. And some of them are boring. Like some of them are just like the same thing over and over and over again. So I hope you guys are having a good day, and I hope that you continue to be creative and continue to do the things that scare you. And if that is, obviously it can be scary to do things that scare you, duh. But sometimes the after feeling of doing those things that scare you is so good, because it doesn't scare you anymore. You know what it is, you know how to do it, and then you then are expanded and proud of yourself. And so I hope that you continue to do those things. I'm thinking actually of my sister when I say that, because it can be hard to do stuff that sucks, but then once you do them, you're not scared anymore. Okay, I'm just making a hole in this planter. Aw. what do you want? You want to buy a matcha? Do you want to buy some? That's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. That's insane that you just did. That's so kind. Thank you. You did not have to do that. I'm so sorry that I don't have an online store yet. Sucks. I know. I'm working on it, and I'm so honored that you care about that. I'm so excited to get it up and running, and I definitely can make any type of coffee or matcha accessory. That's actually like probably one of my favorite things to do. When I ruffle stuff, sometimes I will flare it by just running the wheel, and it makes the ruffles that you just did a lot softer. But I'm so excited, and if to get people things that they like to use, pottery, art that you can use every day. I know that can be so. It like can help romanticize your life. So I love being able to like make people smile in that way with work that I can make. Okay, so this is the next one. We did a ruffle again. There's the drainage hole dish thing. This is the thing with production pottery. Like if you get a little bit bored with making the same thing, it can be kind of exhausting just because like you gotta make the same thing, and if you don't make at least like 50 in one sitting, then that's not going to be a sufficient thing to last you for a while. You're going to do the whole batch, and then you're going to have to just start to make more the next batch. So it's nice to make at least like 50 to 100 of one thing, and then complete those, and then move on to something else. You're also at your wheel? Hell yeah! Somebody is also throwing. That's awesome. What are you gonna throw? And that's why my cards say small batch. Not sure what that means. What's your favorite color glaze to use? My sister asked that. To answer that question, I think I have to just say that when I use the same glaze over and over and over again, I do like start to find less novelty in it. So I have to have variety and experiment with different and new things. But I would say my favorite right now is probably using a really dark clay and putting a lot of texture or cracks, and then using alabaster with lavender mist, and that creates such a pretty pastel purple, and it's very bright over the dark clay, and I really like that. I had a mug that came out of the kiln in a kiln opening. I think it was like my last kiln opening video, and it had the sodium silicate cracks on it, and then the really light lavender. And it was so pretty, and I've been obsessed with that ever since. So I would have to say that for now, but there's also some really pretty browns that I love. Oh, I never answered the question of what's my favorite glaze that breaks over texture. You've been hand building and you're patiently waiting for your clay to be dry? I get that. So, texture. Any type of celadon will break over texture very well because celadons are known for that. They're kind of like sheer. But Iron Luster by Amico is like a brown that turns kind of red in between carving and texture. And when used on a light clay body, that one is beautiful. Somebody said Ancient Jasper is good too. So heck yeah. I'm gonna have to try that out. I've never tried Ancient Jasper. There are a lot that claim to break well and then don't necessarily, or maybe they only work on like a certain type of clay. What's your favorite potter inspiration? You don't actually have an answer for that. Brian at Ripple Pottery. He owns a pottery studio. His name is Ripple Pottery on Instagram, and I love his work. Love, 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 love. I love the texture and movement that he puts. I love the different types of ways he can manipulate something. And I would love to be able to throw like him one day. I would like to be able to meet him, actually. It'd be so cool to take a class from him. So yeah, I really like Brian over at Ripple Pottery. But I also really like this person. I met him. I took a workshop from him. His name is Andrew Linderman, and I have a mug of his. And he really also plays with like movement and faceting and like manipulating a thrown shape. He's not that far from me in New England. He's in New England? He's in a totally different country? Is he in New Hampshire? I think I remember something like that. That's great for you. Sucks for me. Heck. Alright, so for this one, I want to do like a little twirly. So I'm going to put my finger like this. Okay, so Brian from Ripple Pottery is in New Hampshire. That is so far away from where I am. Maybe one day, did you know I've never been out of the country? No. I did go to St. Lucia for an abroad for my school, for my education program when I was in college, but that's the only place I've ever been out of the country. I know, it's so sad. One day, I'll be able to afford it, and maybe the time as well. So this is gonna be a pot. I didn't do the dish, but it's got the finger twirl. Is your social media full of pottery, and does some people really make you scream because they're doing something wrong? What do you mean? What do you mean? My Instagram is Marlena the Pottery Lady, and on that page I do only post pottery content. But I do have a personal Instagram account, which I post personal life stuff, which is not, it's not as consistent because, I don't know, I focus on the pottery more. Would you win Great American Pottery Throwdown? I missed the question. I probably wouldn't win. I don't know. I do love competitions, though. I love competitions. Okay. How many pots do I need to make? No, I love pottery. Like, I like making pots, but how many planter pots do I need to make? No, you'd win, and you can take the money to go on a trip internationally. Well, I would have to go international to participate, remember? Because I am from over there. When I talk like that. Heyo, River. Heyo. Oh, that's Australian. Also, always wanted to go to Australia. Always, dude. Oh my gosh, Australia is so cool. Same with that. Yeah, I really want to go to Australia. I would love wait. Now I'm getting British again. Hang on, let me channel my Australian accent. I have to mimic, Steve Irwin. That crocodile's going 15 miles an hour. Oh my gosh. I love Australian accents. They're so cool. South Africa has a very similar accent. South Africa. Do all pottery wheels turn the same way around? Is there a reverse? Do they all spin the same way? They can go either clockwise or counterclockwise, so they can go both ways. If you are a right-handed person, they should be going counterclockwise, and if you're a left-handed person, it should be going clockwise. It absolutely is always reversible. There is a switch on every wheel by the power button, and if there isn't a switch, get this, you have to flip and turn the power cord around to get it to turn the other way, and it works. Crazily enough. And the reason for that is you want the clay to always be going like through your hands like a tunnel. Love the pieces. I'm sorry, I couldn't read that comment fast enough. Thank you, because I heard love my pieces. I learned to throw lefty even though I'm right-handed, so I throw clockwise. You trim dude. Okay, this person said they trim the opposite way that they throw, which is crazy. That is actually wild. That would throw me off immediately. I would ruin all my pieces. I don't know what. Wow. Well, I guess you can learn whatever way you want to learn, and you can do whatever feels best for you. When I was teaching my beginning classes, some people would feel more comfortable throwing lefty, like they just would. So I'm sure that you can figure out what works best, because anything is possible. Maybe people just have different preferences, honestly. But I think it's very obvious when you're trimming that the clay shouldn't be like hitting your trimming thing. Oh, thank you. Do your hands ever feel sore, or do you have to use some skin products to take care of them? Yeah, my skin goes through it. I have never had any skin problems, but ever since I've started throwing for 6 hours plus a day, my skin, I get eczema on my fingernail, and my skin peels and cracks and bleeds. And so I will use medicated lotion like cortisone or cortisone mainly. And even when I'm working, like if I'm hand building or doing handles, I will put lotion on my hands while I'm working with clay, because your hands will get extra dry because they're crusty. So it feels kind of gross to work with clay with lotion on, but it hurts me less, so I like it. I like it a lot. It's so much better than having ouchy hands. But no, my hands never hurt, the muscles never hurt. My hands never get sore. The only part that it hurt my hands to throw was when I was first beginning, and I bought extremely groggy clay. It was so sandy, and when I was throwing with water, it got rid of all the clay, and it just left the sand, and it tore my hands up, tore them up I was they were red, they got rug burned. That was when I first started, and I first started throwing in my garage. I was how old was I? I think I was in high school. I don't know. Can't remember. Hey Lena, I can read the Japanese person's comment. They're saying good morning. I'm always watching from Japan. Oh my gosh! For those of you that are confused, my sister is learning Japanese. She's absolutely wild for that, because I admire it so much. How hard, it's such a difficult, at least in my opinion, because it's a whole new alphabet, it's a whole new sentence structure, you have to learn characters, it's a very, very beautiful and cool language, and it, seems more difficult, at least to me, to learn that than it would be to learn, Spanish. And so she's learning, and I think that's amazing. Can you give me this tool? Thank you. And okay, so the person commented, I could not read it, and they said good morning. They're always watching, thank you. It is afternoon for us here, and I've always wanted to go to Japan. So bad. They're the pottery capital of the world. They have the best ceramicists in the whole world. They invented everything, from raku to so many amazing porcelain techniques, and just really cool. I took Spanish in high school. No. I took French in high school and Spanish in college. And I love learning a language, but I didn't stick with it, and I didn't practice it when I left college. And now I lost it, and if anybody, like, all I can say is, like, hello, how are you, in both languages, and maybe, like, my name is, or, like, where's the bathroom? That's it, unfortunately, but it's never too late. Like my sister proved, she's learning Japanese, and she's, how old are you now? You're 30. Crazy. Speaking of birthdays, it's my birthday next Friday. And I don't really feel that much older, so I think I just shouldn't get any older, right? Yeah, I know you're 30. I remembered. She's correcting me, but I remembered. Alright. What shape should I make next? I mean, sure, like, I'm excited for my birthday. As excited as you can be. I don't know. Every day is good. Okay, the next planter pot is finished. So we have just a normal one with the dish. I mean, it's just the same thing. So how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8. I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah. And then, so I have 8. And I need to make a dish. I need to make a dish for one of them. Make a dish for it. I'm gonna use this one instead. And then after the dish, I'll make something interesting. Like what though? Maybe a weird question, but do you have any favorite sounds when you're doing pottery? Like when you slap it down? I mean, actually, I love doing that, and I love doing that. Feels nice. Feels nice to flip it. I have no idea why. I often do it. I think just to like, I don't know, you gotta throw the clay around, let it know who's boss. You gotta let it know. There's no funny business. No funny business going on. We're gonna throw well and center well. Ooh, favorite sound? When an air bubble pops. And you hear it, oh, and it pops so good, and it's so like precise, and you know that you're like, you're coning and mounting very well to the point that you popped an air bubble, and you know that you just saved yourself some time. That is a good sound. I tried to do an ASMR video with pottery, and it was really hard. It was horrible. It's not a good video. Don't watch it. Because my wheel clicks. I was making a planter pot, which is funny that I'm mentioning that, and I'm making planter pots right now. But it like wasn't a good shape to do, and I didn't have a good mic, and none of the sounds were good or pleasing. Like it was honestly just like, it was honestly just an awkward video, and I want to get rid of it. But you should, like, I don't know. What's your opinion on deleting videos? Because part of me is like, no, they're showing your journey, and they're showing your progression, and they're a mark in time, and you know, just like you wouldn't delete any part of your childhood, like even if you were cringy when you were in elementary school, like everyone is, you know. So I don't know. I don't like to delete stuff, but that video is not my proudest video. C'est la vie. Hey, that was French. That's exactly why we love your videos. They're so much fun. Aw, thank you. Post it. I already did post it. It's old and it's bad, and don't watch it. Don't watch it. No. You're gonna watch it and you're gonna be like, oh, she warned me. You're right. I'm clicking off. It's an older one. Okay, this is a drainage dish. I don't want to make. I want to make something fun. Millions of likes incoming on this. No! It's a bad video. If y'all want to see a good ASMR video, honestly, Florian Gatsby. I know, he has millions of followers, millions of views, millions of likes. He's so popular, but maybe he's popular for a reason, because he works very precisely and the sounds in his studio are very nice. And it's all very clean and it's all very pleasing. So yeah, I mean, his videos of ASMR are the best. Florian is really lovely. Yeah, he's just, I know he's British, I believe he's British, and he has a beautiful studio, and he works like he's a production potter, he does functional work, he makes his own glazes, a lot of it's matte, and he does a lot of, like same shape, very consistent, you know, so he has like a very defined, clean look for himself. And he's doing great, you know, and I think that having potters who do well online are very important because they show other people what's possible with pottery, and I think it's just really important to always post your work even if you're a little bit insecure about it. Dish. Nothing exciting. What's next? Let's see. How fast can I throw a mug? Should we do that? Okay, ready, set, go. Whoa. I missed the comment. I'm sorry. Oh no. I wish you could talk. Like, I wish there was like a option for audio. Or, I don't know, maybe that might get a little crazy, a little hectic. Any tips for on how to photograph your pots? That's a good question, Emma. I'm still working on this. There's always ways to improve it. I think one of the best ways to photograph your pots for sale is to help like set up an environment of application, meaning like if it's a cup or a soap pump, can you put it Thank you, Vincent. Yeah, post your comment again if I can't read it. Sorry. Like if it's a soap pump, can you put it on a little bathroom tray next to some colors that complement it, and can you show the person like, oh, I want that in my bathroom, I want that on my bathroom tray. Or sometimes if you post like a cappuccino cup, obviously have pictures of the cup, just like all angles of it, but then put a cappuccino in it, you know, have a little pretty latte art. That is something I'm working on. I haven't been able to create a like photography corner studio that I can do that in yet. So what I'm doing now to get good photos is the light is the most important thing. Like if you can get good light, a lot of the times it's natural light. It's usually not direct. It's usually like diffused. So like sometimes 4 p.m. like when the sun's going down, or like a cloudy day. I love having texture in the back of mine, so I like taking it against wood or against greenery. But sometimes professional potters really just want like something that focuses only on their work. So if you're putting, like if you're submitting the work, your pictures to an art fair, then it just needs like a white background or a black background. It needs to be very simple. You just need to experiment. I bought a light box once for photographing my work, and honestly the light sucked. Like it just wasn't strong enough, and I needed like several studio lights in order to even closely mimic the sun, and I haven't been able to get a good enough studio light to do this. So honestly, like natural light is the best so far, which is sucks because it's unreliable. It really depends on the application. Like, are you selling these pots on Etsy? Are you posting them on Instagram? Is this for an art fair? Those are gonna change the requirements of what the pot, like how it should be viewed. Because if you're submitting it to an art fair, do not include any kind of extra flowers in or anything. It should only be about the pot. So this is very simple, but what I like about this type of a mug or a tumbler is having a cut base, like a cut shaped base like this is very pleasing to me. And so I really like the straight edges and a cut base. I don't know how long that was. It's probably longer than it needed to be because I was talking. Yapping? Yeah. Oh no, it's blurry. Oh no, has it been blurry this whole time? That sucks. Or is it blurry because I dropped my phone in a bucket of glaze and the camera's kind of permanently messed up? Really blurry? I have like a Wi-Fi like pluggy any boxy thing. I'll be right back. I have no idea if that's gonna help. Probably connection issues. Nothing wrong with the camera. Okay, so it just got blurry. If it just got blurry, then I'm not as upset. But if it's been blurry this whole time, then that sucks. Sorry. I just plugged in like this like cube that I unplugged for reasons earlier. So hopefully that helps. Didn't help? What do we do? I can't do anything about it. It probably will come back, I suppose. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about it. I wonder if the internet went out? No, if it went out, we wouldn't be here anymore. I'm sorry, guys. It's just gonna have to come back. I plugged in the box. It might connect. It might get better. If it continues to be horrible, just let me know and we'll just... Dropping my phone in a bucket of glaze might not be the best thing for the phone. I know. I did it for experimental reasons. No, I'm kidding. It was an accident. Yeah, it wasn't good. And the thing is like the phones, they're so expensive. It's like $1,100, and just because my phone camera is a little bit worse, I can't spend $1,100 because my phone camera kind of sucks, you know. It's not good, is it? What else should we talk about? Maybe I should stop talking, actually. Would you like that? Sorry, I'm a yapper. What's this gonna be? I have to make more planners. I have to be focused. I gotta stay focused. How's the new pottery chair? Did you send it? I've been talking about this thing. I've been talking about it. I've been talking about it to everyone. Are you kidding me? Did you send this? Look at this. Watch. I've never been able to spin around. Whew. Have you been able to spin around this much? I have never been able to spin around this much. I've never been able to spin around at all. I've always had a big old chair. I love this thing. Are you kidding me? I was shocked. Somebody sent me this and I was like, who sent me this? How did they know? How did they know I needed a chair? A stool. It can tilt forward and back, and it can go up and down. You didn't? Dang it. Okay, well, at least he's updated enough to know that it's new, and I can spin. And spinning, super fun. Don't mind if the blurry too much. We get to spend time with you. Well, let me know when the blurry gets better. Oh my gosh. I actually really need to stretch. What are your tips for, like, back pain from always being hunched over? What helps? Because all I do is just stretch intermittently. I kind of wanted to host like a yoga pottery class, so you like every few minutes you would just take a break and do some yoga because it helps your back and your body. How fun would that be? Maybe I'll host it when I open up my studio. Isometric hold. I can do that. I'll do that when I go to the gym later. Sorry that it's blurry. I really hope that that's not something that continues to happen. I really don't know what to do about it. The internet, for all I know, is on. Ugh. I can answer some of your questions if you have any. But otherwise, if you like these, make it. I don't know. I'll do them when I can, definitely. Sometimes going live can be nerve-wracking though. Like if you've ever thought about doing it, sometimes you feel like scared. But I'm having fun. But like I was saying with my pottery studio, once I get it, I have so many ideas of what to host and so many classes and workshop ideas. Honestly, it's just a matter of creating a business plan and getting clients. Hey, do you prefer wheel throwing or hand building? Oh, hey Nick. I prefer wheel throwing, to be honest with you. I love altering wheel thrown forms after the wheel, like pulling or stamping or textures, things like that. And I think it's really important to know how to hand build because there's certain elements that you just cannot do otherwise. But I am definitely more challenged with hand building. I just made a dinosaur, actually, hand built a dinosaur. It's meant to be like a brush holder because you can put the brushes in between its like back spikes. I'll show you later, or if you follow me on Instagram, I'll probably post it there. But when I was in high school, my ceramics like final project was a sea themed like gallery, so I called it Ceramics Honey, and everything was like starfish on the side of a pot, and like an octopus on the side of a pot, and like cool like barnacles and stuff. But I do prefer, if I'm gonna make something like structural, like as a base, I would like to throw it and then add things onto that that are then hand built. But sometimes when I'm thinking about like how do I make this structure, my mind always goes to like throwing it to create the structure. But you can get some really interesting things, let's say with like a coil bowl, or you know, designs and irregularities. Those are really important. What about you? Do you like hand building or wheel throwing? Some people just like art. Like I like to compare it to math brain and English brain. You know, like math people, they get math, and English people just they get it and they struggle with math. And you can have that same thing. People are like they just get hand building, or they just get wheel throwing, and they completely struggle with the latter and be completely not invested in it at all. And guess what? I struggled in math, so and I excelled in English. So obviously I'm a wheel thrower. I love writing essays. Yeah, at the studio I go to, I mostly do hand building. The pottery instructors aren't really savvy in wheel throwing. Really? Do you like hand building more then? Or do you think that you like it more because they are more savvy in hand building and you haven't had the time to, or experience people to do the wheel with you? Because that'll definitely make a difference for sure. I think that you should experience both, but then when it comes to your decision, I'm still thinking about the underglazes. How do you do your berries? Just underglazes? Yeah. So that's just underglaze. So I was actually saying earlier, you haven't done wheel throwing at all, dude. You gotta try it. But yeah, so I was talking about it earlier. I bisque fire my pieces, and then I take underglaze and I paint the berries, and then I put wax resist over the berries, and then I'll glaze them, and then just like sponge off the wax over the berries. And when they are protected by the wax, not even water can like penetrate the wax, so your berries will be protected. And yeah, it's just a matter of honestly experimenting with the different type of clay, because some clay, if you put underglaze or any kind of like a bright color on it, it won't show up good. This clay, this is a brown stoneware, it does very well actually. And surprisingly, I found that like my white clay, I don't like the underglaze on it as much, which is surprising because it should show up like the vibrancy of color should be more vibrant. But to me, the white, it like contrasts the color, so it actually looks better on a little bit of a darker clay body. So yeah. Did I wire cut this? Did I wire cut this? Who's paying attention? I guess I'll just do it again, I don't remember. Shame on you for not paying attention. No, I'm kidding, you can relax. I think I did. Okay, oh, thank you, Kayla. You just helped save my pot. Whew. I almost dropped it. Oh, that would have been awful. We've thrown a decent amount of things so far. There's things behind that, but I need 6 small planters for this lady, and some of those are too big. And it's good to get them done. But I kind of want to take a break and do something else. What else do I need? I need cherry stuff. I just made a bunch of cherry mugs. Well, they're not like completely finished yet. I need to paint them. What if I did like a base that was like bulbous at the bottom and then really skinny and looked like a cherry? I don't think that'll work. Not in the way that I want it to. Unless I threw a closed form, like a pumpkin, and through like stretched like a stem, you know, like hold a stem. But then you would want two because cherries usually come in twos, and then it would just be decoration. Okay. I'll throw a closed form because I want to try and make a ghost later. And the ghost usually starts with a closed form. So I'm going to try that. And it'll just be a closed form, like it'll just look very simple, but you like flare and like pinch the bottom and like do this to get like some of the sliver on the ghost up the side. And then you carve a face. How is your hand after your injury? Is it fully healed and okay now? Aw, thank you for asking. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I sliced my hand open with a metal piece, and my like this whole part of my hand was like flapped this way. There's blood everywhere. I was freaking out. Like I did go into shock. My stepdad helped me and took me to the emergency room, and they put stitches, obviously. And it was super close to my, sorry, I was reading a comment about the cherries. It's a good idea. It was super close to my tendon. Like I almost had to get surgery if it cut my tendon. It didn't cut my tendon, but it was so close to it. It was, I'm so grateful. And I lost my train of thought. Oh, so when they stitched it, obviously, so my body, for some reason, my body is like completely immune to painkillers. No painkillers work on me. I've even had been prescribed an opioid before. Nothing, no effect at all. Same thing with the injection of painkiller they put in my hand. That was probably the most painful thing. They literally in the gash, they like stuck a 2-inch long needle, and it was the most painful thing I've literally. It was awful. And then obviously the stitching of it was awful. But you know, yeah, I'm really grateful. Could have been worse. It's totally healed now. You can't really see it like too good. It's right there. Right there. But my thumb is still numb. My thumb is still completely numb, can't feel on one side of it. So one side I can feel, but one side I cannot feel. But, you know, that's okay. I can throw. It's fine. It sucked, though, because it happened, like, while I was prepping for this residency that I'm at now. And I needed to come with 500 to 1,000 pieces, which is a lot. And so it was the last month of prep, and I couldn't make any pottery, so I did end up having 500 pieces, but it's made me struggle pretty much ever since then because I've never been able to have inventory for the gallery shop. So I've been having to like make things like as soon as it comes out of the kiln, I'll put a price tag on it and put it in the gallery. So like people, like customers have picked up warm pottery before, and they're like, "Why is it warm?" I'm like, "Girl, fresh from the oven." So yeah, my hand's good. Thank you. I'm gonna make a clothes form for a ghost later, for later. So, and I've never made a ghost before, okay? It should have a flared base. It shouldn't have a floor, no base, because if you want to put like maybe like a little candle or a tea light under it for the eyes to light up, so no base. The thing with throwing things with no base is that it gets rid of a lot of the structural support for something. So sometimes if it's a bigger piece, that I don't need a base for, I will throw it with a base and I'll cut out the base later because while I'm throwing it, it needs that like structural support. So, little things. Little things here and there. Also, I wish there was like a ding. Like when comments happen for me, I wish there was like a ding because I just have to check and look up and I don't want to have to make you rewrite something, so I'll just be checking. Okay, so for a closed form, if you don't have enough extra clay at the top where you close it, it will crack when you fire it, and those cracks are kind of ugly. So you always need more clay than you think you do for a closed form piece. The wheel is making a ghost wooing sound. That's so funny. That's such a funny observation. I love that. You're right. You're right. Oh, I love that. It makes sense for what I'm making. We'll see though. Like I'll probably post the updates of this on Instagram and how it goes. But yeah, like round top. I'll put the eyes and nose, there. Yeah, and then push down the top. Would you like to be closer to the wheel? Would you like that? Should I move the phone, the camera? Would you like to be like right there? I don't know. Okay, so that'll be the base of the ghost for now. It doesn't have the wire cutter like slipped and went all up into the clay. I could probably fix that. Super annoying. It doesn't have a base, but later we're gonna like push in the parts and make it frilly, push out the base and make it like cloth, and then we'll make the eyes and like push out some parts to kind of make it look like a ghost. Quality is much better now. Woo! Thanks for sticking around. Man, I'm so glad that it's not super blurry anymore. I can't believe it was blurry for that long. I'm so sorry. I wish I had something to do. I could fix that. Should I just no, it's a little bit too wet right now, so I'm gonna leave it. But closed form ghost, this is one of the ways you can make them. Okay, so the video quality is like 144p. Can I highly recommend doing your class readings while watching Marlena's content? As long as you're paying attention in class. I wish I could change, can I change the quality? I don't know if I could change the quality of what I'm doing. What's that? No. I have no idea what I'm clicking. retouch. Like me signal issue. Okay, we don't need retouch on. Turn retouch off. Unless I look so much better with the retouch on. Okay, Vincent, do your readings for class. Ghost complete. Well, almost. Well, unfortunately, since I don't own this building, I cannot change the Wi-Fi situation. I'm so sorry for that. That sucks. I wish I could change it. I'm trying to think of things that I could do. I would have to probably text the building manager, but that means I would just get off live. So I'm gonna throw. Continue throwing. Continue throwing. Oh, I think my camera's back. So my phone's working again. Literally completely like froze, went black, thought I lost you. But apparently everyone's saying that it's fine now, and it's back on for me too? Dude, I have no idea what just happened. I couldn't even use my phone. I'm in HD now? Yes! Alright, you get to see the Oh, I just got clay all over my phone. What am I making? What am I throwing? What am I doing? Huh? What am I doing? I don't know, man. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you're studying. I hope that you are eating well. I hope you are seeing the sun. I hope you get to go on a walk today. Maybe you get to see a dog today. Maybe you get to pet one. I miss my dog so much. A pumpkin? So like I should just throw a closed form. Like a round closed form, and then later, basically like the same thing with the ghost. You like push in with your finger and you push out at some points. Do you throw it without a bottom? That would make sense, right? To throw a pumpkin without a bottom? Because then you can stick your fingers in and like push. I feel like that makes sense. I've never made pumpkin before. That's another thing that I'm not allowed to make while I work at this residency, because the person who owns the building, like the girl, the husband, the wife of the husband makes pumpkins, and I'm not allowed to. Well, I'm not allowed to sell them. I can make them. This is not enough clay for a pumpkin, though. So I'll make like a little, I'll just make a little frilly plate at the moment. What if I like threw the closed forms and then did another live for like finishing them? You know, like adding the pumpkin details and such. That could work. But this is my only off day. Tomorrow, the public customers will be in here, and it's inappropriate to film. wish that you could have seen the customers at the window that is right behind the phone right now. They were like looking in the window, staring at me. And here I am. I'm closed. I'm sorry. I'm making stuff for you for later. So awkward. Message retracted. Why? Okay, so I like this dish shape. I like the fact that it's got like a really big slanted lip, or walls. Let me show you. Hold on. I love this tool because it makes a nice little base for things that you don't want to make or do a lot of trimming on. Has two sizes. Really nice. I believe this tool also is from Old Florid Creations, and it's really, really nice for things like this. Okay, so let's make a little ripple flower edge. Oh, I love pictures. You know, I really like pictures. I want to make a picture. Anyways, this is what I'm talking about when it has like a really, like, you know, it's very flat. And then you have the flower, and I love a little flower edge. It's so pretty to me. And then especially with glaze, it'll be really nice. Yay! Alright, then we're almost done, really, with the stuff that I need to throw. How long have we been doing this live for? An hour? Thank you, Emma. I want to make a picture. I really like pictures. I use them all the time. So this is my last, like, large amount of clay. How will you glaze it? Definitely, this clay does very well with winter wood. And it separates, I can like rub it off over the middle and the texture like that. And I'm very much out of cherry things, cherry pottery in the collection that I'm selling, and I'm completely out, none left. So I think that having little cherries line the border of that would be really pretty. But if I don't do the cherries, I think that having like a really light, misty, kind of like a lavender, drippy thing would be nice for that. I've spent a lot of money on glazes. I would love to make my own someday, but it takes a lot of testing, you know, like making sure that the glaze doesn't shrink more than the clay body or less than the clay body, and how it reacts with different clay bodies, and the little changes that you can make to it. There are so many variables that with making your own glazes that just takes a lot of time and experimentation, and right now I don't have the time to fail as much, so I'm not doing that. So right now I buy powdered formulas and I mix them, but they're pre-made like formulas. Yeah. Well, but I'll mix those together sometimes and like create a new one. But that doesn't always work. There's an air bubble somewhere in there. The other thing with dark clay is it's just so much messier. It's so much messier than like a dark red, or this brown is so much messier than. Hey Marlena, sorry about that. Had to step out quick. Back now. What did I miss? You didn't miss much. I'm just throwing stuff. I threw a plate in, or not a plate, but like a little flower dish. Looks like this. and I don't know when you left, so I have no idea. Obviously, you missed the most incredible things that a potter could do, because that's just what I do here. So obviously I really did some really cool stuff. Do you brush or dip? I dip. I have to, because brushing takes 10 million times longer, and with the level of production that has to be happening at the moment, I dip. And especially dipping gives a different type of consistency, and if you're doing large amounts or batches, you have to dip. How does, shoot, I missed the comment, I'm sorry, I missed it. There was a question though, I knew there was a question. So pitchers are really difficult because they have to be thin, because water and liquid is so heavy that a pitcher can easily become unusable for a lot of people. Like, you either have to two-hand pick it up, or sometimes like older elderly people, like they have arthritis in their wrist and they can't hold heavy things, and so it's really just impractical to have a heavy pitcher. So you really have to get the base right off the bat, and like the walls right. Another thing, pitchers, so hard to trim because of the top, right? So unless you have like the perfect chuck, pitchers are really hard to trim. So that's another reason why you have to throw them really perfectly and thin off the bat, because otherwise it's just going to be way too heavy and it won't be practical or helpful at all. Oh yeah, I said I was going to move you, so I'm going to move you, and then you're going to tell me if you like where I put you down. So you could be here, and you could be like super close to what I'm doing. How do you feel? How do you like it? Do you want to go back to where you were, or do you like it here? Let me know. Okay, I'm seeing no complaints, so I guess I'm gonna keep you here for a sec. We have a thumbs up from Emma. You like it? Okay, because you get to see the pot a lot better, that's for sure. Just not moi. It's cool. Okay, I'll listen. God media, what a compliment coming from such a cool person, dude. Such a successful and cool person. Compliments me? Wild. I'm so focused on these walls right now, you guys. They have to be perfect. What other accents should I do? I love accents. You know what's funny is, like, my dad is Norwegian and I don't know how to do Norwegian's accent, and I don't know how to speak Norwegian. So I just feel like so separated from that part of my family. Crazy. Wait, hold on, I'm focusing, I can't talk. Like, the walls are pretty thin, but I still need to get the bottom. The bottom is like here, like it's like that thick, and like right here, it's like there, so we can go a little more. Oh, classic Chicago? So the only thing with like Chicago is like you pronounce like just your A's, like ma'am and like Chicago and like bag, not bag, bag, ma'am, Chicago. So I don't know. What's the tallest thing you've ever made? Must have been so challenging. Yeah, I mean the tallest thing. I've thrown. I think my max that I've thrown is 18 pounds, which is a lot for me. I mean, it's a lot in general. It's like almost an entire bag of clay. A bag of clay is 25 pounds, if you were wondering. I don't know how tall it was though. I didn't measure, but I do really like throwing large. I don't know how much clay this was, unfortunately. I didn't weigh it. But yeah, these walls are looking pretty good. They're super thin at the moment. How many pounds are you using for the ghosts and pumpkins? Ooh, how did I forget about the pumpkin? I forgot. For the ghost, that was small. That was like a pound and, that was probably just like a pound. And then for the pumpkin, it depends on the size of the pumpkin that you want, but I'd probably use 2 to 3. Obviously you can just, like I said, depending on the size of the pumpkin, but you'll want more than you need for a closed form because you're gonna chop you need more at the top than you are gonna end up actually having, because the top, like I said, needs to be like thicker and you need to really have a lot to close off the top with. Okay. So for this, I want to have a portion of it like go in. Here, I'll show you. Lost my tool though. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it was in my water bucket. What do you know? Okay, so this is going to go in about there. No. I'm reversing this. What am I doing? This goes in. Because if you make a cup, you can like put the cup upside down and use it as a lid and rest it in the top here, right here. Thank you for the sweet compliment. So I just like to have it really straight and then cut in. And then have that super flat. And then you can make a cup and then put it like on top right there. But let's cut off the top because it's uneven. The trick is to go really slow with this. Okay. Worm. I can't. Worms freak me out so much. I don't know why. Have you ever picked up a worm and it like freaks out and squiggles? Oh my gosh. I like slugs though. Okay. So I think this is good. The wall thickness is good. What we're gonna do though is I'm gonna make the spout, and that spout has to be it has to be specific in the alignment of where you press, because that's what makes it pour well, and you can't have something not pour well. So where's a good angle? What am I supposed to show you? I wish you could be like right here. I want to put you like right there, and I can't. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You hate slugs. They eat your plants. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think about gardening. You're right. That would suck. I want to garden so bad. How's that? I just think slugs are cute, but they do eat plants. You're right. And they eat mushrooms. And I like looking for mushrooms in the woods, and they eat the mushrooms that I want to eat. But I think they're cute. Like, I like their little eyeballs. Okay, so get your finger wet, and then like go like this to make this end of the spout have a really thin edge. And then it should work. Sometimes I put a divot, like a line on the inside for the spout for the water to follow, but this one I don't think needs it. Okay, so it looks like this. So do you see how the spout is like very, very thin right there? That's what's gonna make it pour better. And sometimes I'll like bring these two pieces in. Sometimes I'll pull the back and then I'll push out the front so that it has a chest kind of. But I learned that from Andrew Linderman. Thank you. So with the right handle, it should feel good. But again, these are all such like technical aspects with pictures. They just have to like work well, obviously. What else should we go? This has been a long live. I hope it's still fun for y'all. Pumpkin? It's like a faceless channel. I'm not a faceless channel, I swear. Okay, this is a good size for, no. We're gonna use more clay. Oh, I'm glad you're still having fun. Okay, this one, we'll do a pumpkin with this one, I guess. Again, a pumpkin is just like a round, closed form. Throw some square plates after the pumpkin. Throw square plates? Who do you think I am, a wizard? Or do you mean like throw a plate and then cut it square? Because that's a way to do it. I also don't like making plates. I like to get the base, like here matters a lot, because this, as you can see, will, like my fingers jiggling and moving, this can throw you off later if you don't get it now. As you can tell, this hand is not moving because this is centered up here, but this is not. I also love how it curves. as you push it down. I think it's so fun because it feels like it shouldn't be doing that, but that's what you need to do to get it good and centered. Okay, so like we discussed, the pumpkin is not gonna have a base. I mean, it'll have like, no, it needs to have a really cut base. What happens when you push it down instead of a curve? It will become off-centered because it needs to be pushed into your other hand. This hand is countering your push, so it's actually forming it onto center, and if you push straight down, it will actually not know where to go, and it'll flop off center, and that's why you have to push into your hand. And then this one has counterweight. Good question! I've never made a pumpkin. I'm sorry. I don't know if it should have a base or not. It's gonna have a little base because we can cut one out later if we need one, okay? That's my decision. I'm sorry, I didn't see the other questions, so I can only answer the one that I see and read quick enough to... Get that base good, and then do a good pull. This is gonna have, you know, it's gonna be really round. And then close it up. There's a lot of manipulation later that happens with pumpkins, but it's good to have a good base. You don't want it to be too thin. I mean, what am I talking about? I've never made a pumpkin. I don't know. Don't ask me. If Marlena misses your yeah, thank you, Vincent. We know. I know. Y'all don't know. Okay, I'm collaring in this part now. Keeping the roundness of our pumpkin. I think the main, like, pretty part about a pumpkin too is the stem. So as long as you can throw a good stem, or not throw a good stem, I mean pull a good stem, I feel like your pumpkin should be good. I need more, okay, this is sucking. Okay. Whole freaking hand down there. I'll figure it out. I needed more clay than this. Oh, hi. This is gonna be more like a gourd, like it's not gonna be a pumpkin. It's collapsing. Dude, no. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what do I do? I made it so thin. Amazing, thank you, but it's not. That's why I wanted you to make one. Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Emma. because now you're making me go through it. Okay, well, so what I learned is that I went too thin and that it got weak right here because that's where it was the thinnest and the widest. And I'm strengthening it by pushing it in as much as I can. And I should have used more clay. So now it's gonna be like a gourd. I did get enough to close it. Obviously, I'm not gonna keep this part because it's not a long enough stem and I don't want it necessarily. Do I? I don't know. What if I like twirl it later? It looks funny. Cause later, yeah, like I'll cut out the bottom and you push, you know, the lines in for where the pumpkin is and push those in and push from the inside out to curve it. Love your attitude and how you show the good and bad. Thank you, but are you calling this bad? I know, I called it bad. Oh, okay, so, we're not gonna keep this thing. It's fun though, little guy. Is it possible to throw an oud instrument? Oliver, bold of you to assume I know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Alright, so this has gotta go. Hi. Oh, there's a hole! Close it. Okay, so that's closed. We were able to do it. And, I think this part, like in a pumpkin, it kind of goes in. Like it goes down. And then I just think it's a matter of practice. Like if we just keep on throwing closed forms, then we will have a lot to practice with when we, you know, manipulate them off the wheel. But the nice thing about a closed form is that when you close it, the air gets trapped inside, so even if I push in at the top now, it's not going to collapse because there's air pushing, like creating a structure kind of, like it's pushing back, so it's not going to collapse. Hey, I thought I attached the stem after, but I got some tiny cracks between the body. Was the pumpkin like really dry at that point? Because I feel like it might have been too dry when you attached the two. Yeah, that's a good pumpkin shape. They're all different sizes and stuff. Dude, thank you. You're right. This could, like, they're all, you know, especially if we, like, take this pumpkin and we could even, like, smush it on one side. Because you know how, like, some gourds are, like, really lopsided and stuff, and they're not, like, perfectly sitting round and perfect and stuff. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, so this is what we got. It's a good circle. And it's good. So it's good for pumpkin. I will update you on how the pumpkin finishes, okay? Okay, this is going to be some of our last shapes. So what should I make? Vote. Vote now. And I will be the decider. Let the decider decide. What's that from? Pop quiz. From pop culture, what show is that from? Thanks. I will post the final results. Don't you worry. Mug. We got the first vote. First vote is mug. Yeah, I could do a mug. Let's do that. I'm not gonna do the handle, obvi, just the mug part. I ran out of square bats, so now I'm gonna use this thing. And it's like an inlay system. But a fancy one. Okay, buddy. Alright. What kind of fancy? Should we do a faceted mug? Should we do facets? That sometimes fails too, so might not work. We could do like one with texture on it. A ceremony mug. That is wonderful, and I will research what that is later because I do not know what that is. Okay, yes to the facets. Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. Let's get these wiggly McGigglies out of here. Texture, some kind of texture. This clay got really dry while it was sitting over there. Like super dry. Like I think it's cracking right here. Oh no. Do I need a new piece of clay? What's going on right there? I feel something. I feel something off. Nothing a little bit of coning and mounding can't fix, am I right? Yeah, I think it's alright. I feel like it's fine now. Oh, so I think Emma, did you ask that question about pushing into your hand? I'm gonna do it one more time to explain. Woo. Okay, so if I push down, straight down with no counter pressure, watch. That has no idea where to go. And so it's like, and we like that energy, but we don't like that right now. So when you push down, the reason why you want it to curve into here is because even with no counter pressure, it still has a better shot of getting down, but I'm gonna push in with this hand as well and kind of trap it in the corner. And as you can see, now it's like in the center and it's in the mound, and that is exactly what we want. I hope that helped. Coning and mounding centers the clay. It makes all the particles of the clay go like this because particles of clay are kind of shaped like rice, and so before it's like thrown and coated and mound, the clay particles are like this, and you want them to slowly align like this. And it also can help get out clay air bubbles, but that process should mainly be done in the wedging, but it still can pop air bubbles. You just shouldn't rely on it. But it mainly centers the clay on the wheel, like makes it so it's not moving, so it's like centered on the axle like a wheel on a car. Of course. I'm making the bottom flat when I use that tool. Fun fact, there's no such thing as compressing clay. Some people say that when you use that tool on the bottom, so I'm like using this flat part right here on the bottom here, not to compress the clay because you can't actually compress the particles of the clay more than they already are, but I am making it flat and getting a good right angle so that when I pull, I have something to kind of like hold on to. And you can see from where it's going up, that thick part, you can see where I'm pulling, and that's where it's gaining height from. So for a faceted mug, you want it to be very narrow and very thick because you're going to take off a lot of the clay, and then you're gonna belly it out. So if it's already wide, you're not gonna have room to belly, and it's gonna look weird as a mug, the shape. So you want it to be pretty narrow, and you want it to be thick enough for you to take clay from. And sometimes I like to mark where I'm gonna stop faceting too, because I don't like to go all the way to the lip, because that can make the lip uneven, and sometimes with a mug it can be uncomfortable. So you don't want it to go all the way. I'll show you. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop probably right here. So I'm gonna make the mark. The clay right now is probably, so it's like this thick, which is definitely too thick to stop your mug. And then we're gonna get our cheese slicer. And this is where obviously you can mess up, because you can go you can go all the way through the mug, and you don't want that, obviously. So start from the base, just kind of eyeball it. You don't want to go too thin either, because then you won't have a good facet. And then I go to the line. I know that's like hard for you to see. I'm gonna try doing it reverse from me so that you can see, which is gonna be hard. Okay, so then we take off about this much, and later we're gonna belly that out. And so it's really cool, because it creates some really interesting texture, because you're cutting the clay and revealing like the under surface, and this is not affected by the wheel, so it offers a different texture too, as well as the flat edges, obviously. But I've gone through like the entire mug so many times. Oh, see, and that one was too thin. Not grabbing enough. That's kind of cool though. Like, I kind of like the texture, so I'm not mad about it, but it's definitely not a clean cut. And of course you could facet without bellying it out, kind of create like a cool jar. But we're making a cool mug as per Mark's request, so. Collect our pieces. And later we can just like use this and wedge it up later too. So that's great. Okay, so now that we have our facets, now we're going to belly it out. Something that I like to do as well, this base, I like to take this part, this curved part, and push in here. I think it just offers a nice base to it. And then when you do this, you can feel where it's thinner, and you can feel where not to push too hard. And the key is just to go slow. And if you feel it just start to get too thin, you should just stop. And it might fail right now. Like, I'm letting you know that if it does, you can't get mad, because that happens sometimes. And then I'll like throw the lip up a little bit more, because obviously you cannot touch this outside now, otherwise you would ruin what you did. So you can only touch the lip where you did not facet.
Okay, I think that might be all that I'm allowed to belly out from how much clay I have. Let's bring that lip out a little bit and get your needle tool and fix the top. Get that off. Okay, so I do wish I could have bellied a little bit more, but as you can see right there is where it's the thinnest, and I felt that if I kept going right there it would collapse, so we stopped. And I am pretty happy with it, especially with like a nice big handle. I think that this could be really pretty. And I love the variety that a facet can give, and it's a good, it's got a good lip, and I like the base. Like, look at how nice and cool that base is. Imagine glaze over that. Just the texture in it in general. So cool. And I actually like that one spot where I kind of messed up. I love that. Thank you for the advice, and thank you for the idea to make a faceted cup. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have done this if it weren't for you. I probably would have just gotten caught up with all of the different pots and the planter pots that I have to do. So thank you. We made a total, let's just count really quick. So we have this flower dish that we made. We got a planter pot. We have the mug. We've got one of the flower planter pots. We have the ghost that I'm gonna finish later. We have the pot, and this is the dish for that pot. And we have this other planter pot. I'm gonna put that up there. And then we also have the mug that has the tapered base, which was fun, and that'll have cherries on it. We got the pumpkin shape, can't forget about the pumpkin. And also can't forget about the pitcher. So I think we did pretty good. We threw a whole shelf and a half basically today. I'll still probably gonna throw a little bit more, but I am not gonna lie, guess who's hungry? I'm so hungry. Even a drip glaze would be cool. Jungle Gems crystalline glaze on the outside of it if it doesn't ruin the facing. Faceting, yes. That is a great idea. I don't have any crystalline glaze, unfortunately. I've never done it, but I'm excited to try one day for sure. You would not believe how covered in clay my phone is, but I'm super hungry. I don't know what I want to eat, but I'm gonna make some food. I had such a fun time. Genuinely, I had a really, really good time. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for interacting. Thanks for being here with me and being kind and being supportive and caring about pottery and the arts and doing it yourself. Mark, I hope you take the wheel class sometime. Thank you for being here. I know it's late in the UK. I'll do more accents next time. Goodbye. And I hope that, Emma, you keep throwing and keep making pots. And you're awesome. Vincent, I hope you are reading and doing your studying. I hope the class goes well. And I'm just really grateful that you guys were here. I had such a fun time. And you inspire me as well. So thank you. Kisses. Art is so important, and so are you. Thank you for being here. I'll do another live some other time. But for now, I bid you farewell and good night. Thank you. Bye.